recording live from count them, two locations.
This is Pastor.
I am Patrick, and in this version of this week's show, I'm joined by Caesar, aka LCs.
Currently on the run from Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, it's that time of year.
Yep.
Yeah, so before we get heavy into the NFL, thought I'd do a little bit of fixing up of some stuff we talked about yesterday with me and Jacob. I don't know how familiar you are with this ongoing litigation now between the Stars and Mavs.
No. So when that was brought up yesterday in one of the chats, I was like, "What?" But I didn't see anything break. So I wasn't.
Yeah, and it's weird. So the Mavs last year filed a thing against the Stars because in the original contract for the American Airlines Center, both teams are supposed to keep their front offices in Dallas proper, I guess. But 20-something years ago, the Stars moved their front office to Frisco. And apparently it was all well and good until very recently when the Mavs decided to cite that and started withholding money from the Stars for events at the AAC. And then the Mavs, in a kind of separate but sort of lumped in together, the Mavs are claiming the Stars agreed to and then backed out of a deal that would keep the Stars at the American Airlines Center through 2061, paying zero renovation costs. The Mavs would split the renovation costs with the city, and then they would be out of there in 2031 or 5 or something. So who knows what's going on? Both the Mavs filed a suit, the Stars filed a countersuit today. I have no idea what's going to happen. It sounds like both teams are leaving, but they want to fight about it on the way out.
That's so weird. It sounds more like one team wants to make the other forcefully stay there.
Yeah, it's weird the way it's all just being presented, and I, as a Stars fan more than a Mavs fan, to me it sounds like the Stars are kind of like, wait, what the fuck's going on here? But
and then also neither team, neither ownership groups own the building itself either.
Yeah, and that's part of it. I'm sure they want to own the land around it. That they want to do whatever other team's trying to do.
Yeah, because who is it? Ross Perot or whatever his name is. I know he owns a lot of the parking lots around the AAC. So I mean, he's got that going on. Former Mavs owner. Still, it's interesting that this is the way they're going, and I think a lot of that has to do with the current Mavs ownership. I don't know if this would happen.
Not helping, that's for sure. They didn't do what they wanted, which was to just be able to build a brand new casino stadium,
which they'll never get. I mean, as long as the current thing is
not the way it's going.
Yeah, the current way Texas government goes, they're never going to allow for gambling, at least in a casino here in the state of Texas. Maybe they'll be open to like more sports betting online, but that's I think
yeah, the logic doesn't track for me, but yeah, it does seem to go that way. But that was just that. We'll keep an eye on that. I'm sure there will be developments probably months from now as this gets talked about behind courtroom doors. Other stuff, North Texas is playing Navy this weekend. I don't know if you got anything to say about it.
Listen, man, I am excited. Okay. One thing that I absolutely love to see in football, because I feel like this really works well in football and not so much in other sports. It's when it's one team's strength versus another team's weakness, and then vice versa.
Right?
So, North Texas is one of the better passing teams in the nation, has one of the more horrid run defenses in the country. And then you look at Navy, they're the complete opposite. Great run team, terrible against defending the pass. And so it's like one of those things where like something has to give. And so I'm excited to see that play out. I'm glad it's an early-ish game.
Say 11?
Yeah, like 11 or 12. Something like that. UNT didn't have a whole ton of early games when I went there. And rightfully so. Waking up early for that, never fun. I'm not a morning person, but I will wake up a little early to be able to watch this. Unfortunately, I cannot attend, but I will be keeping an eye out. And hey, Drew, it's Drew Mestemaker.
Yeah,
dude, this kid, unbelievable how he never played or he never started in high school. Now look at him. He's one of the league's. He's one of the nation's passing leaders, and threw for 608 yards in his previous start. That something I didn't know UNT was capable of producing.
Do you believe in the mean green?
I do, and I really hope we can hang on to him and Coach Morris for at least another season. Doubt it.
At least through the bowl game.
At least through the bowl game. I doubt it. I have more of a sneaking suspicion that we'll be able to keep Mestamaker around. Simply because, listen, this was the only school that gave you a chance. Now all these schools all of a sudden see you for what you're worth. Come on, man. Just ride it through. Be mean green. Though I don't suspect he'll be a mean green forever. But maybe for another season. Who knows?
Yeah, and then I guess the last maybe little thing would be, do you have anything on the FBI arresting Chauncey Billups or?
Dude, it's you reap what you sow, NBA. You reap what you sow. Now I know a lot of that has to do with like rigged poker games, but you as an organization have become so comfortable with allowing gambling organizations to be in and around your league through sports betting, right? As sponsorships. And so think about it. You open up a podcast, right? And a lot of them, sports related, will have a DraftKings or a like whatever you want to call it. They'll have some type of betting app as a sponsor. Then you go to say you turn on ESPN. What are you going to get from ESPN? ESPN Bet on the ticker. Who could forget that they had the ticker going, and then as they're talking about this gambling scandal, they take the ESPN Bet ticker off, just live on air.
The only thing that would have been funnier is if the person had like faded it down,
Yeah,
instead of dropping it.
I mean, I think it would have been less obvious. It would have been funnier.
The person would have gotten fired immediately, but yeah, it would have been funnier.
So for sure. But you look at it and you're like, all right, now you have all these current former players involved in this. It shouldn't be a surprise. I'm sure a lot of these people that they have gotten connected with, they probably met through these sponsors, right? These gambling organizations, they have deep ties into non-legal, ways of operating. At least some of them do, I'm assuming, right? It's all assumptions. But I think those are fair assumptions to make just based on the history of sports gambling and just gambling in general, right? So, I don't know. The NBA reaps what they sow. Adam Silver, if, he's grilled by Congress, which, does it matter if he's grilled by Congress? They can't. I don't think they can remove him.
It's exactly the purpose of him is to go there and be the one who gets grilled.
Yeah, and listen, do I think he deserves to be removed as commissioner? Yeah, but I just don't like the guy. I've hated for less, and he's given me reasons to hate more. So that said, it is nice to see some sort of karmic justice going upon Chauncey Billups. For those who don't know about his previous discretion, or is it indiscretions?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
both.
Yeah,
I think both work actually.
All right. Well, whichever one is more appropriate. Yeah. And I think Bethke alluded to that in our chat. I don't know if he mentioned it yesterday on the show.
I'm sure we at least touched on it. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything unless you got World Series opinions. The Stars extended Thomas Harley last night while we were recording, so I didn't get to talk about that. But
yeah, I mean you can bring that up. But
there's not much else to say besides that sentence. It's a good move.
I mean, for those who may not be familiar with him, you could talk a little bit about him, and then if this is a good deal for the team.
Yeah, he's one of the best young defenders in hockey. This is I think it's like a $10 million average annual, and it's probably roughly 10% of the cap, but entirely worth it. He's under 25, or he is 25, so we're gonna get one of the best defenders in the world through his prime.
And now, what constitutes being a good defender in hockey?
I don't know that I can articulate that very well as far as the X's and O's. They do a great job of just keeping the puck away from the net beyond like straight blocking shots, like actually forcing the play away outside. Just knowing where to be, mostly knowing where to be, and being there.
Gotcha. All right. Well,
but yeah, I can't give you a detailed X's and O's, but he's promising and he's been recognized internationally. He's kind of blew up with the Four Nations thing with Team Canada. So
all right.
he's one of Jim Nill's just a million genius moves. We've got a phenomenal roster. We're just trying to put it all together in 1 year.
Man, I hope they finally figured that out. But yeah, as far as the World Series, Jesus, Game 3, the longest thing ever.
Second longest of all time for a World Series game.
Which aren't Dodgers part of the other one?
Because there's a pitch clock now.
Weren't the Dodgers part of the other one?
Yeah, 2018. They won that game and lost that series.
And also that series, what, 4-1, right?
It was 4-1, yeah. So a little bit different, but
a little bit different. Still, though, when the Dodgers have such a glaring weakness in the bullpen, which, by the way, you can't have a stacked roster in every single from top to bottom always, right? You can just have top heavy talent, which they do in a lot of key spots. Unfortunate for them that they had to burn through all those pitchers that they somewhat trust, and then also through the ones that they don't. And miraculously, the fact that it stayed tied for so long, that boggles my mind. You go a whole game, a whole extra game on top of your normal game, just to score one run.
The Blue Jays had about 2 hours where they should have won that game at any point and just didn't do it.
Right, but they got it back yesterday, did they not?
They did. They won last night.
So
game
the series
5.
is tied.
Series tied. Game 5 about to start. 6 and 7 will happen in Toronto over the weekend.
Yeah, so this is super important for the Dodgers, because I feel like they have one of the best crowds in baseball. When the Dodgers fans are just so legit. Not to say that Toronto Blue Jays aren't, but it doesn't.
Might have a bigger crowd factor for sure, just because they're in a dome, and they are pretty nuts up there. We've seen that they're kind of nuts up there.
No, absolutely. So I don't know. It's interesting. I do think that Shohei Ohtani though had one of the best stat lines I've ever seen. The fact that he was perfect at the plate.
Yeah,
but then also had for after a while they just said, you know what? Let's never let this guy take another swing.
He hit a home run in the 7th and then was not allowed to hit after that. And he got the record. I mentioned with Bethke, he got the record for the most bases ever for a World Series game, or most times on base ever in a World Series game, and most of those were walks.
Yeah, man.
It worked, kind of. I mean, they didn't win the game, but he didn't beat them. And that's kind of the main what you got to do.
Now, Game 6, I believe it's Yamamoto who would be the starting pitcher for the Dodgers. Listen, if you're LA, if you can get this one in Game 5 and let Yamamoto just go to work, that series is yours. Don't let it go to Game 7, because then anything can happen in Game 7.
Game 5 is always very pivotal, but I think especially with the way the Dodgers are set up, this is could be maybe not the death knell, but close enough tonight.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I'm interested. At this point, I just want to see the greatness of Shohei Ohtani, see if he can get another ring before another gambling ring busts around him.
He pitched well yesterday, just one bad pitch to Vlad Guerrero Jr., and that was pretty much the ball game. So
just like father, like son, right? One bad pitch.
Just such a fluid, smooth swing. It's awesome. So we'll keep an eye on that as it plays tonight. They're singing the anthems right now, but we'll move into the meat, the big stuff, the big boys,
the Arby's, the NFL. Yes, what a week, man! Listen, we're not doing the picks thing just yet, but I will say when I was keeping track of so many games, And I was just looking at my phone, at my TV, and I'm like, oh my god, these teams that should be winning are just driving me nuts. And we'll get to that, and we'll get to some of my grievances from the previous week in week 8. Because certain teams where you're like, yeah, there's no way they should lose. And then you just have this dumb look on your face of like, why are you losing? But anyway, a couple of stories around the NFL we go. All right, first things first. This broke earlier today as of recording, right? Lions, Aiden Hutchinson signs a massive 4-year, $180 million extension on the heels of his, comeback season, right? Suffered that major injury last season. He was off to such an incredible start, on pace for a ridiculous numbers of sacks. He was finally starting to kind of live up to the billing of his draft position, the second overall pick. Gets hurt and then follows up this season, and he's having a solid season. Not to the same degree as he was last year, but you're able to notice that he's building, right? He's building upon some of the groundwork that he laid down the year before and the year prior to that as well. So right now, Aiden Hutchinson has 6 sacks in about 7 games. So not a bad pace at all for your number 1 pass rusher in Detroit. On track for about 14 and a half sacks. If he keeps this up, if he's able to play the entire season healthy, this is a solid move by the Detroit Lions. You want to build in the trenches.
Yep.
And listen, that division, it may not be like top heavy names of quarterback play, but it is a quarterback centric division, and you want somebody who can absolutely just throw a wrench in the offensive corner's game plans, right? So good for them, good for him. And yeah, let's move on to some not so great news for a certain running back out of New York, Cam Scatterbo. If you missed it, I'm glad you did. Please don't look up what happened to his ankle. But he is out for the rest of the year. He did have a successful surgery today, I believe. Or I believe they already went through the surgery, but just now it was reported that it was successful and the full extent of his injuries. When
was the last time you heard of an athlete surgery not being successful? I don't know that I've ever.
I think there's got to have been some, right? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there's been surgeries where they had to go back. I think maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, if you find out, I could have sworn Alex Smith had one of those surgeries where it wasn't done right the first time. When we're talking about his big leg injury.
I think the thing is, they don't, like, when they go back, it's always like, it's never like immediate. It's like they go out and then something's wrong and then they go back in. So they never claim it was an unsuccessful surgery because enough time has passed where they don't call it that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they're never like, he had an unsuccessful surgery.
Yeah, and I don't know what should constitute as an unsuccessful surgery, because I'm assuming you would just keep going until you get it right.
Yeah, like death or
yeah, or maybe like you're trying to save like a limb or something and then just aren't able to. Too much damage.
We're clearly medical experts on this podcast.
Right. We know medical experts, I think. We know people who work in hospitals or in clinics. But yeah, anyway, what he had, for those who are unfamiliar, he had an open wound ankle dislocation, which
he had a foot facing the wrong way.
Yeah. It was gross. Thankfully, Fox did not show it. As a matter of fact, I was watching the game, obviously, because they were playing the Eagles. And I remember the play, and I still vividly remember the play. You have Jackson Dart steps back to pass, right? And as he lets the ball go, it goes into Cam Scatterbo. I believe it was Zach Bond who was on the defense. So he goes to break up the pass from behind, pulls him down, right? And the camera is not zoomed in just yet. So pulls him down, and then the camera pans towards Cam Scatabo, and then your eyes kind of shift because something in the corner of my eye, at least, didn't look right, and then you just see this ankle just dangling off to the side, and you're like, holy shit, oh my god, that's disgusting. And they immediately just pan over to anybody else. The first person the camera finds is Jackson Dart, and all you can see is Jackson Dart looking back and then turning around screaming, "Fa, fa," like just losing his mind. Meanwhile, Cam Scalabo is just looking for somebody to pick him up. Like, the man is just not fazed by the injury, which is amazing, because like he was looking for someone to pick him up so he can walk off the field. I'm like, are you serious, bud? Your foot's not facing the right way. So sad for him. He's one of the more exciting rookies in the NFL.
Yeah, but he just got his first wooing to the Eagles because of it.
His first wooing?
Yeah, Dom went and delivered him a gift at his hospital bed.
Oh, yeah, Big Dom. Yep, Big Dom, the chief security for the Philadelphia Eagles, did deliver some food. He is actually his exact title.
He's gonna end up in one of these FBI mafia stings soon enough.
We'll cross that road when we get there, but I have a feeling. Just check in with Big Dom. I think everybody in NFL
security, you can hang out.
Yeah, and besides, I mean, I'm sure everybody has a chief security. It's just he's just such an Italian-looking man. He's a big dude. Yeah. He's a big presence. You're just like, is he? He's got to have some mob ties, right? But anyway, that's besides the point. And one thing that I am very happy to have seen happen was him getting a standing ovation from the Philadelphia Eagles crowd. Sure. They have not been known to be so.
Scatabo hasn't been around long enough to get the ire.
Yeah, and well, even then, like,
it's not Michael Irvin.
It's not Michael Irvin, and I think if that were to happen nowadays, I think that Philly crowd would react more like today than
sure.
That was a different generation. Philly fans still crazy, but every fan base has their maniacs.
For sure.
Every single one. But yeah,
wild to think about someone being that passionate about like the Panthers or the Jaguars. Well, they got to be out there.
No, they absolutely have to. They just have a very miserable existence on Sundays for the most part. Now, speaking of miserable existences, I'm sure Carson Wentz felt miserable existing this past week. Bro, you got to tell me what the hell is going on with the Vikings, because that's some Bush League stuff. Sending a guy who they had known about the severity of his injuries. Yeah. Instead of throwing the third string out there, they're just like, hey, let's just continue to pile on. My
first thought, with absolutely no merit because no one, it's not being reported, there's no stories about this, but my first thought is that KOC, being the guy he is, and maybe Carson knows this is pretty much it for him and wanted to let it ride, and KOC was like, all right, man, I get it, I will let you ride this out. But that's the best explanation I can come up with.
Yeah, he
like, if that's maybe the last game he ever plays, then I can understand.
Yeah, but like, here's the thing: like, there's no way to know that's your last game, especially considering that wasn't even his throwing shoulder. So
no, but I don't know. That's like I'm saying. That's the best I can think. Is this is his last? He was like, "This is my last hurrah. Let me go do that." That would be the best case scenario. But I don't know. Bosmer's got to be terrible. Is it more safe? Is it better to hurt two guys or one guy? I don't know.
Listen, there's no guarantee that the third stringer would have gotten hurt. If the thing that rubs me the wrong way, at least visually, because again, we don't know who made the call at all, right? Is you? Do
ultimately, it is the coach's call. He can at any point pull that quarterback. So,
which at that point, I think Kevin O'Connell owes it to his players to protect them from themselves. I think every coach should do that, right?
Listen, I think there's a line in the conversation there, and that's a tough one.
But
if the team doctor is saying there's no risk of re-injury on it, it just hurts, then what are you supposed to do?
I think you just still protect your players, honestly. That listen, KOC, especially considering that he was a player in the league himself, should just kind of have like that, like the I don't know, the players coach mentality. Like let me protect this guy. We're in a rebuild year of sorts. It's a transition year. You know, you're trying to get JJ McCarthy some development. You don't want to push him out there. Obviously, he was the emergency quarterback, so in a sense, he is medically cleared to play, just not. You know, not
he hasn't met the team's requirements for what they want from him. Something to do with specific footwork drills.
Gotcha. But either way, you go out there, you know that he has a torn labrum, a fractured socket, and you still let him out there. And I think, listen, I'm going to look at it from a couple of different perspectives. So if you're trying to keep afloat and trying to keep yourself in the playoff hunt, well, this happened on October 5th against the Browns. Go out there, find yourself. There's got to be a veteran quarterback somewhere that you can get for cheap as a rental that you don't have to trade too much for, if anything, right? Your KOC, you've worked with worse, and you've made it work. You made Josh Dobbs look incredible for what was it, like 2 weeks?
like 6 quarters.
like 6 quarters of football. If you don't trust Brosmer, that's fine. Go find somebody else. Don't roll out some other guy who is clearly too hurt to be playing. Now, you could say on Carson Wentz, like he just wanted to gut it out. He may have like this idea that the writing's on the wall. I may not get many more opportunities to play. Let me go out on my terms. However, I look at it and I'm like, listen, Carson, get healthy. Right? Let's not aggravate this more because that's what happened against the Rams. He aggravated it even further. And you might get a chance to play because we don't know what JJ McCarthy's going to be this season. And when he'll be back, what's he going to look like when he gets back. So you may have another chance to play. But they didn't go that route for whatever reason. I don't know what the reason is. I just was not a fan of how it all played out. But again, we're not there. We don't know who's like making the call. Like, hey, is Kevin O'Connell just respecting Carson Wentz's wishes? Is he out there just like, no, just try to make this work for as long as you can? And maybe the ownership group's like, hey, Carson, we'll slide you something under the table. Just don't tell anybody. How many guns do you
have? Carbon tree taxes.
Right. So either way, wasn't a fan. Sucks for Carson Wentz. And we'll see what ends up happening with the Vikings quarterback situation because I don't know if JJ's back or not.
He's playing this week.
Okay. There we go. And yeah.
I think it was something like there were like specific drills they wanted him to be able to do correctly, and then they wanted him to have a full week of practice after achieving that. I think is what I read. It's been a minute, but
gotcha. All right.
But yeah, he's expected to start with, I guess, Bosmer as the backup again. I don't really know.
Maybe Bosmer doesn't even back up. It's just like we're gonna roll with one quarterback and then go Wildcat if he's. Because I'm just going to assume that Bosmer is just that much of a dog shit backup option.
Yeah, and it's also just, I mean, with the offensive line that we're running out there, it's just not fair to anybody.
Yeah. And when we saw that unfairness play.
In the NFL is vastly different than even a second.
Mm-hmm. Now, that said, let's move on to some trade news. We've gotten 2 trades this week. So we'll start off with the New England Patriots. In a rare move, they trade 2 guys who were starters for them at some point. Neither one, I believe, were current starters, but the Patriots trade away Kyle Duggar and Dion White to the 49ers and the Pittsburgh Steelers, respectively. Not a lot of trade composition coming back to them. Not a flashy trade. But hey, it's rare that you see a 6-2 team trade away players. You're usually seeing them trade for players. So interesting move.
I mean, and there's still a week to go, so it could just be, building the stock for whatever trade you're trying to make.
Yeah, and I believe the Patriots are one of those teams that are looking to buy on wide receiver. In this league, there are
I know-
so many wide
I
receivers.
know
and it's,
where one is that that probably should get traded
oh yeah?
in Dallas.
Oh, are we, are we talking about who are you talking about? Who?
Pickens.
Pickens? Yeah, no, I don't know that he will be traded. I don't think
Seems
that
like the right move, right? Like if they're not going to be very good this year, unless they're going to go pay him like close to CD Lamb money.
Well, listen, CD George, I believe they can't even franchise tag him. So
I think they can, but that's just I don't know how much that helps.
oh, hold on.
Does franchise tag count on the cap?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so that'd still be like near 30 million, I think.
Let's see. Can the Cowboys franchise
It just
tag?
seems like they could get a lot more for him in a trade than they're going to have value of having him and paying him.
Oh, what was that that just happened to my computer?
Yeah, I don't know. You kind of lagged out there for a sec, but I think we're good. No,
We're back.
oh,
All right, we're good. We're good.
we're back, and okay, it's looking moderately consistent. And holy
cool.
shit,
Oh, that was weird.
you guys just let off the game with back-to-back home runs.
Who did?
The Blue Jays.
Oh, nice. Good for them. Good for them. I don't have a dog in that race, but I do want to see greatness prevail. Anyway, yeah, George Pickens can be franchise tagged. I don't know if the Cowboys want to go that route. They probably do.
Oh, they
probably
won't,
do.
but they should.
Yeah,
A
I
competent
don't-
team would probably make that move.
Yeah, and they're not. They're
Yeah, that's the problem.
that is the problem for them, isn't it? Well, I doubt they're going to make that trade now, especially since he's been playing so well. Like because if they wanted to punt on the season, they would trade him, and they'd probably get a good haul back for him, considering
And
how
the Patriots, I bet he'd be. I bet he'd love to be on that Patriots team. They'd use him quite well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you're not getting any major fall off in terms of quarterback play. Drake May does not play the position the same way Dak does, but
It might be
he's
more.
younger.
It might be more fun for the receiver. I don't know.
Yeah, and who knows? Yeah, who knows? Who knows? He would get a lot of targets. All they have is Stephon Diggs, who's having a solid year, but none of he's not having a year to the point where you're like, hey, we probably shouldn't be wasting.
No, and yeah, obviously, if the Patriots can add any good number two there, that would help Diggs out a lot. So
Absolutely, because that still is their major weak point. It's crazy. Drake May is near the top of the league in passing yards, but doesn't really truly have a number one receiver. Real Tom Brady, like if you ask me, because Tom Brady didn't have a top of the end receiver for quite some time in his career.
he had one, and they almost went perfect.
They almost went perfect. Oh man, it's so crazy. Randy Moss never got a ring, even though he was in like what two? I think he was in 2 or 3 Super Bowls, something like that. No, he was in 2. Yes. You may have forgotten, but he was part of the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah,
Against
you're
Baltimore Ravens. Yeah. Anyway, that said, let's talk about the other trade involving this team that I'm repping right here. The Philadelphia Eagles trade trade for Michael Carter II, defensive back from the New York Jets. In exchange for wide receiver John Michie, and both teams in turn swap 6th and 7th round picks respectively in the 2027 NFL draft. So the Eagles address a cornerback need, and I say it with some skepticism in my voice because, well, Michael Carter is a nickelback, and they don't need a slot corner. They need an outside corner. So this makes me think that they might be making some moves internally to slide Cooper DeJean, who is the slot corner, over to the outside, which he did play outside corner in college. Although I think that is kind of a waste of his talents to some extent. Not that he can't play on the outside, but he does so many things well, where he can play closer to the line of scrimmage. He's a really good tackler. Might be the best tackler on the team. And you can use his athleticism in a myriad of ways and deploy him in so many different spots. And once you put somebody on the outside, that's really all you can do is just, hey, stay out here and follow this guy around. So I don't know what they do. It would be crazy to put that guy out on the outside because he is so small at 5'10", 28.5-inch arms. Definitely not what you want playing on the outside. So we'll see what happens, but interesting that they made a trade nonetheless.
I did see a note on that trade is he waived his $5 million injury guarantee to make the trade work.
Which, by the way, listen, I'm all here for athletes getting paid, but
I don't even know how that's allowed to waive an injury. I guess it's a guarantee. It's a bonus. Like I don't know how that works.
Maybe it's a restructure of sorts where like, okay, you're not going to get this guaranteed, but we will, like, because you signed for this contract, this amount of money, right? So that money is probably just going to be applied in a different way, where like now it's more of incentive based.
It's in some way where it's not hitting the cap, I guess.
Yeah. Well, no, it'll be hitting the cap. It just won't be hitting the cap that way. It might not be hitting the cap this year. So, either way, he did waive $5 million. Listen, that says a lot. You would willingly give up $5 million to leave the Jets, which I don't blame anybody for wanting to leave that team.
Not just to leave the Jets, to go to a team that could very easily be competing for a Super Bowl.
True, right? And apparently,
I don't think he'd be doing that in Jacksonville.
Maybe not, but
I'm dogging on the Jaguars all night.
Yeah, right. Which I'm like, they're not even that terrible this year.
No.
But they are a dysfunctional franchise. Though, shout out Tony Khan for being a really good wrestling promoter. That he is doing well. Probably should just stay away from the football team. Just let somebody else run that thing. Either way, that's besides the point. Shout out Michael Carter. You wanted to be an Eagle. Eagles fans will appreciate that until you give up a big play. And then they'll be like, why did we get this bump from the Jets? So please play well. Apparently, Jets fans weren't happy with him because he was really good his rookie year and then has fallen off since then. But he has plenty of experience playing defensive back. So we'll see what happens there. And yeah, that takes us around the NFL. There should be more trades and trade news to come. But now we got some stuff to talk about. I hate to bring up gambling odds after we just kind of shit on the NBA for gambling stuff. But I did want to kind of get an idea for what the NFL, what odds makers are thinking about when it comes to the awards, midseason awards, right? And by midseason awards, I mean who is the leader in these clubhouses, right? So with that, Patrick, I think it's time we talk about who are the current frontrunners for MVP. And we're going to use FanDuel for this one. All right. And the reason I wanted to bring this up, because this has been bugging me. All I've been hearing is, Patrick Mahomes, front runner for MVP right now. Patrick Mahomes. I'm like, what happened to Baker? Are we forgetting that Patrick Mahomes at some point was leading a team with a losing record? Are we forgetting this? Like, he was not making a difference. And so I just thought in my head, all right, well, let's see. Well, he, according to FanDuel, is plus 150 for the award. Plus 150. Are you serious? This is ridiculous. He is not having an MVP like year. Not to this point. He could turn on the Jets and really, really put up some Patrick Mahomes-esque numbers that we're used to seeing from him down the stretch. Sure, I'll eat my words. But I, to this point, have not seen a guy who should be the MVP just because he's had like 2 or 3 good games in a row. Like, all right, you got your team out of a losing predicament when you guys were like 2 and 3.
Yeah, and I got to assume his odd numbers are also kind of like how the Cowboys are always unrealistic. Like, his odds are always going to look better because more people put money on it.
Yeah. And, like, listen, I'm sure there are some some I guess what I'm looking for is some legitimate reasoning behind this, besides the fact that he is just Patrick Mahomes. However, we've had enough of him. I've had enough of him. I have Patrick Mahomes fatigue right now, at least when it comes to these MVP odds. Granted, I know he doesn't, he hasn't been stacking MVPs like that. That's been mostly Lamar Jackson's thing.
Yeah.
But he's constantly in that discussion. So is Josh Allen. I don't think Josh Allen should be in the MVP race right now either. I think both of these guys should not be there. Now, a guy that I see as third with plus 550 is Drake May. I think that's where you can start your discussion. Drake May, Jonathan Taylor absolutely has every right to be in the MVP race. I know that he is the leading candidate for Offensive Player of the Year, but the Colts, rather. Sorry, the Colts are 6-2, right? No one's going to give Daniel Jones credit for that turnaround, even though they should give him some credit because they weren't 6-2 last year with Anthony Richardson. They were never 6-2 with Gardner Minshew. Guys who you could have reasonably said, yeah, Daniel Jones is in that league.
No, he's
quarterback last year.
He's probably in the comeback awards, I would assume.
Coming back from just being on the Giants.
Jones.
The comeback award really shouldn't go to players who what did they come back from? Just sucking. Like there should be a most improved, just creative most improved player. But now another candidate that I think does deserve more respect, and this is from me 100% being biased, Jalen Hurts. 6-2. I believe they are the 1 seed currently in the NFC. And has been playing lights out the last couple of weeks. Has been playing efficient football. Like his worst game of the year, realistically, was that first Giants loss. But for the most part, he has not been the reason this team has lost. And if anything, he's kind of been held back by his coaches. And now we're seeing more and more how much he really means to this team. Even when he's not putting up gaudy numbers, he's efficient. He's putting up touchdowns. And he's putting up wins. So I think he should be in that conversation. And then after that, like this MVP race isn't great. I know that Jordan Love is plus 1,000. A little too high for my taste. Baker Mayfield plus 2,000. More respect on Baker. All right.
That's wild.
He is the engine that makes that Tampa Bay Buccaneers team go. And
doing it without your top 3 receivers for most of the year.
And linemen. Like the guy has been playing outstanding football. He should be absolutely top 3, top 4 in odds for the MVP.
Who's not? Anyone that we picked, including Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels.
God, yeah. We just did not get. It's so hard to predict these awards, man. Like, you just don't know how a team is going to play, and you don't know how those players that you pick are going to play,
or if they're going to get hurt,
Yeah. Hey, listen. If you throw down $5 on Joe Flacco, he is plus 50,000.
He's having surgery. I think he's going to miss some time.
No way. Did he get hurt?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Please go and I'll report back.
Please do report back on that because I thank you for telling me now. I'll switch my pick from the Cincinnati Bengals because I don't want.
Okay. So dealing with an AC joint sprain and his throwing shoulder status is up in the air.
Not good. But he is really old and has a lot of wear and tear on that shoulder. I'm assuming. Now. Let's look at some other awards. You have the NFL Offensive Player of the Year. The odds, like I mentioned earlier, heavily favored for Jonathan Taylor. Minus 250, the odds-on favorite. But you still have some guys out, just kind of on the outside looking in, who could potentially snag that from him if something were to happen. Huh?
So it's still half a season to go.
Exactly. You have Jackson Smith and Jigba at plus 600. Christian McCaffrey plus 1,400. I wouldn't take that. Simply because can't trust him to stay healthy. Puka Nakua, plus 1,400. Jamar Chase, plus 1,500. This one, Bijan Robinson, he's also been having such a good year.
He was my pick.
And listen, it could still happen. It could still happen. Although, because the Falcons aren't winning, it's probably not helping his cause as much as you probably should have. Who was my pick? Do you see? Can you see?
Yeah,
that?
I got it. You got Jameer Gibbs.
Jameer Gibbs. Yeah, not. He's having an okay year.
I think he's the only one I've already eliminated, and that was CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah. All right.
Not a bad player, just not going to be the offensive player this year.
No, definitely not.
And
Who do I have for defense?
Myles Garrett.
I can still win that one.
You and Beth both took Myles Garrett. I took Micah.
Who's plus 145 right now? Although
Micah,
I don't.
Miles?
Micah, which is weird to me because I'm pretty sure Miles is having the better year.
I think that's again the cowboy factor of all the money that's been put on him. But
I was gonna say the cowboy factor. What do you mean by that?
Well, you know, he started the year there, sort of.
Although I think if like Myles Garrett continues to be on this tear, because he has 10 sacks right now in 8 games. Granted, half of those came in one game. It'd be hard to argue if he's like at 20 sacks and Michael Parsons is at 14 or something. I don't know how many sacks he has right now. Let me check, actually.
Yeah, I got you. Sacks.
He's at 6.5.
Yeah, 6.5. Yeah, so Brian Burns, who I've never heard of, at 10.
You don't know Brian Burns? Oh well, I don't blame you. He was lost on the purgatory that was the bad Carolina Panthers, and then got traded for
FSU. I don't get a lot of FSU exposure.
Yeah, I don't blame you, but he is one of the better just pure pass rushers in this league, and he has been playing really well for the Giants this year. All right, so let's move on then to the other candidates. You have Aiden Hutchinson at plus 500, Nick Bonito from the Denver Broncos at plus 750, Will Anderson Jr. at plus 1,000, and Jared Verse plus 1,800. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. The top 5, those, or at least the top 4, are all pretty close and all reasonable candidates to win the award. And now you have Offensive Rookie of the Year. Right now, this is pissing me off. What the hell is this? Jackson Dart, according to FanDuel, is the favorite over Emeka Egbuka, who's been playing like crazy. Jackson Dart's just been okay. He's been okay.
He's playing quarterback. He's playing. That's what it is.
An average quarterback should not, and this is only for the rookie awards, right? Because I get it's different once you get to like MVP and offense players. An average rookie quarterback should not be in the favorite spot over elite wide receiver. Let me repeat this. Elite, because that's how he's been playing, Emeka Egbuka. I know that he's missed a game or two because he's hurt. When he's played, he's been unbelievable. He's been probably the best player for Baker Mayfield to throw to. Jackson Dart has only played like 3 games. He's only started like three games. So that's ridiculous. Shame on you, FanDuel.
It's probably time to eliminate mine and your pick from our board, Cam Ward.
Yeah, he's having a terrible year.
How's Ashton Jeanty doing?
Genty's not been great either, but he has one of the worst offensive lines behind, to run behind. Honestly, this award it should be Emeka Egbuka's award to lose, and everybody else is to try to chase after. Travis Hunter's not doing great. Tyler Warren's been a really good tight end, but I don't think they're going to give it to him. And yeah, you don't have a lot of great options right now in that department. Defensive Rookie of the Year. I don't know who I put down. Maybe I picked Jahad Campbell.
No, me and you book Abdul Carter.
Abdul Carter. Okay, well, guess what? He is the favorite right now.
Yeah, I figured.
He is the favorite at plus 110. Jahad Campbell, Philadelphia Eagle, plus 320. And then you have guys like Nick Emanwari at plus 500. And then after that, there's a big drop off. It's Carson Schwesinger at plus 1900. Andrew Makuba, another Eagle, at plus 2000. And Michael Williams at plus 2200. So this is not a close race. Travis Hunter, another guy who plays both ways, the guy who famously plays both ways, plus 5,000. So he's not doing much of anything on either side of the ball, but I think that's by design.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for him to stand out like that, unless he was just somehow actually a top of either or both positions. But that's just not fair to ask.
Nope, not at all. No.
At the time, I don't understand how he's sitting through all the meetings.
I'm sure he's mostly with the defensive backs and then just goes to one or two wide receiver meetings. I think. I don't know. Shane Steichen plus 105 for Coach of the Year. Head Coach of the Year. I don't think anybody can argue with that. I mean, he's made Daniel Jones look like a Pro Bowl quarterback. Mike Vrabel, though, has turned around an awful Patriots roster into a 6-2 team. Now, do I think that's a real 6-2 team? I don't know. Mike Vrabel choked a lot in the playoffs and doesn't have a lot to work with offensively. But what he has done has been pretty good. Pretty good. So those are your top two favorites at that spot. Kyle Shanahan at plus 1,100. I guess deservedly so. I mean, that team is half that team is on IR, right? And he's helping them through. I just don't like him. Dan Campbell plus 1,300. Surprising considering, it's like there was high expectations regardless, and he's just kind of meeting expectation. I believe the award is when you exceed expectation, or if you're just a new coach and you do really well. Which I guess would be exceeding expectation then. Sean McVay at plus 1,800. I don't know why he's at plus 1,800. I feel like there's got to be somebody else who's been more impressive. Dave Canales, he has the Panthers at 500. Like that's asking a lot from that team.
At that point, it's just people are going to put more money on the name they know.
I suppose so. And for our comeback players of the year, who do we have for that?
I took Trevor Lawrence. You took Aiden Hutchinson. Bethke took Dak Prescott.
And he would be right. Dak Prescott currently at plus 100. The favorite. Christian McCaffrey plus 200. Aiden Hutchinson can still win this award. Plus 500. Trevor Lawrence plus 4,000. So.
Hey, still half a season to go.
Half a season to go. Still can happen.
He's going to win comeback from the first half of the year player award.
Talk about the ultimate participation trophy. Yeah. So there is your mid-season update on
our coach selections. I copped out, just took KOC. You took Aaron Glenn, and Bethke took Pete Carroll.
Wow. Yeah, Bethke, I really shit the bed on that one.
I think we all three did.
Yeah, but listen.
My thinking was that JJ McCarthy could come in, have a 12-win season. They'll be like, wow, Kevin O'Connell, doesn't even matter who the quarterback is.
Turns out it absolutely matters.
It helps.
So, yeah. And, hey, I'm thinking Aaron Glenn, he's going to provide so much energy, and he's going to be able to turn that team around. They're 1-7. The owner's shitting on the quarterback. Full dysfunction. Not good. Oh, anyway, I think we're done with that, and I think it's time that we hit all of the lights.
Oh.
Hit the music. These are the highlights, the lowlights, the clip show that'll show you everything you need to know about what was good and what was bad of the week that was. So, that said, I'm going to start things off hot with this Antoine Winfield Jr. just robbing the offensive player of the ball, getting an interception. Let's look at this. You have Tyler Shuck going, shucks. My guy sucks. And just got the ball ripped away from him.
Did he start that game?
No, he did not.
Okay. I heard he was starting this week. So
He
I
is starting this week.
you.
Rattler got benched in this game, which no fault of Rattler. I mean, that team is just bad. No quarterback is going to be good in this situation. But I did want to present another angle from that interception. Thank you, Internet, for allowing me to be able to show this. Woo! Nice tackle, right?
I don't know
And then
that.
just
I don't even know. There's got to be another term besides interception. Doesn't seem right for that.
if anything, you could just be like, that's a forced fumble.
Fumble
Right.
doesn't feel right either, but like, yeah, I don't know.
When you
That's funny.
snatch the ball away, like that's a
Yeah.
forced turnover. You made the guy lose the ball.
Definitely a takeaway. I would say takeaway is the exact word for that.
Yeah, it's except at that point now you're just going to like real semantics later on with stat counting. But
Like
an incredible
interception.
play.
Interception is like I caught your pass.
Yeah. Well, we'll just say we'll call it a takeaway. On the books, it'll be a
Great play.
interception. Now let's look at this. This game, this right here, it's called a weak fumble from Mr. Gainwell, Kenny Gainwell, former Philadelphia Eagle, with one of the weakest just fumbles I've ever seen an offensive player have. So here's Aaron Rodgers throws the ball and then
It's college
the
football.
defender didn't even look. It didn't even look like the defender was attacking the ball. Gainwell just lost it while trying to switch hands. It looked like funny fumble, absolutely unfortunate. But don't trust Kenny Gainwell. I saw enough of him. Pittsburgh, you made a mistake by having him on your team. He's not terrible. You just can't really trust him. Now, that Winfield play was not an interception. It's a takeaway. I think this play right here by Lassiter from the Houston Texans was absolutely an interception. I don't know his first name. I just got his last name. But Mac Jones drops back to pass, launches that thing in the air, and
Beautiful.
that was a beautiful interception. That was absolutely a beautiful interception. Not even a bad throw or anything like that. He just undercut the receiver at the perfect time.
When did the Texans change their blue to that?
It's just one of those alternate uniforms. I
I
don't
like
think
that.
that's their permanent blue. Their permanent blue. Man. You know, I know that their old uniforms get harped on a lot. I don't hate them. I don't know.
Me neither. I just thought that color was interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess
Now-
it's the old Oilers color, probably. But
Now let's look at this. We're going back to this Saints game because Spencer Rattler. Oh, this guy, this poor schmuck, just tries to escape, has some green light, and then
No.
loses the ball. Ball security
never-
number one, Spencer. I know you're not
zero idea that guy was behind him.
no field awareness, man. No field awareness on that whatsoever. All right. Now, this is probably one of the best catches of the year, in my opinion. And this is one of the better angles of it. This is Michael Pittman catching a touchdown from Daniel Jones. Oh,
Damn.
that may not be the perfect angle, but you know what? We're going to see the perfect angle right
Well, I
here.
was gonna say, it's still impressive because it doesn't make sense how the ball didn't come out ever.
Yeah, just
He
trapped
uses
it
the defender's arm.
and trapped it with the crease of his elbow, the crease of his arm, right? In that little elbow point. Incredible catch. Yeah. Big plays being made in Indy by that supporting cast. Absolutely wonderful year for them. Crazy that they just took the death of the owner to get this team back on track. That is parody. That is a joke. Do not sue me, lawyers. Anyway, let's watch Josh Allen make nothing out of. Guess what? He's making nothing out of nothing because this play right here, buddy, what are you doing? What are
looks
you doing?
That looks like when you would play a tight mobile and you'd run Bo Jackson all the way down to your own goal line and then all the way back up and no one could ever touch you.
Yep, he was the ultimate cheat code in that game. Now, I want to take a quick peek into what he was thinking on that play. So let's check in. Enough of that. Let's check in on Derrick Henry getting stonewalled, bouncing it outside, and surpassing sweetness on the all-time touchdown list there. Surpasses Walter Payton for 5th all-time in rushing touchdowns.
Dang.
That play. He is a touchdown machine, man. And we are looking at a bona fide Hall of Famer. He's going to go down as one of the best running backs to ever play the game. Like, that's not hyperbole. For some people, it might be obvious, but I don't think we really recognize greatness in a running back until they're like right at the end.
He's also been stuck in Tennessee forever.
And he didn't become a full-time starter until 2 years after his rookie season.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's been this productive for the, considering he had a slow start to his career, speaks to his talent. Now, the Squirtle playing jazz image, I just feel does not truly encapsulate whatever the hell is going on in Terry Bradshaw's head. This is a low light in itself because I don't know if you saw this, but I just want to know what the hell was happening here.
But the thing that I would worry about more so in Washington is the other day I text Andy Reid and I got a text back and I thought it was Andy Reid, but it was some guy selling pigs. But it sounded good. I should have told y'all that, so y'all would have thought I actually talked to Andy Reid, but I didn't really talk to Andy Reid.
My reaction is the same as Strahan's, Michael Strahan's reaction.
So you wanted to know something about Washington, so you texted Andy Reid, but it wasn't Andy Reid. It was someone who sells pigs?
Yeah. Listen, they really need to get him and Jimmy Johnson off TV. At some point, the mind's not always all there. And the game is slowly, or in this case, not so slowly, been passing them by. So yeah, that's
rough.
A low light. That's a rough broadcasting low light here for the first time I think I've ever had on this segment. Now, speaking of fast, right? The game quickly slipping you by. What about if you just run game real quick? And who quicker than Joe Fast Man Flacco? Because he did it again, Patrick. This time he scrambles for the first down. My God, have you ever seen an almost 40-year-old man run that fast?
I've never seen Stripes look that slow.
God, I know people and all throughout that defensive meeting the very next day or whenever they do defensive meetings, we're just embarrassed that just happened. Like, you let Joe Flacco break contain. You shouldn't even be worried about that. That should never cross your mind. But you know what? The lowlights don't end there for the Cincinnati Bengals. Because though this play itself is not a highlight, the moment is a highlight. And, I'm going to eat crow. You called this one. You called it. You absolutely did. They had no business losing this game to the Jets, but they did. The Bengals secure their loss to the Jets. The Jets secure their win, their first win of the season. They are no longer winless, and Aaron Glenn can finally claim his first career victory as a head coach in the NFL.
It would be embarrassing to make it in the NFL, get to coach full season, and not win a game, and then never get to do it again or something. That'd be rough.
I'm pretty sure that happened to somebody. Who was it? Whoever coached the Detroit Lions in 2008.
I don't think so. Rod Marinelli?
Yeah. I don't know if that was his first season as a head coach.
No, that was his last.
No. I mean, like, with them.
It was his last with them. His third with them. His last.
Okay, yeah, and which rightfully so. Now, who is the guy that did it
Hugh
with
Jackson, right?
Yeah, Hugh Jackson. That guy. He went winless and then followed up with a 1-win season, or did he have a 1-win season and then followed it up with a winless season? Don't remember the order. I just remember it was some of the worst football the city of Ohio has ever seen.
Probably the worst professional football though in modern history, and probably will be forever.
Oh, for sure, absolutely, for sure. Anyway, having the lag again. Anyway, let's look back at some more Saints, some more Bucks. Because Chase Young here gets a powerful sack, stripped the ball from Baker Mayfield. Just what a play! What a play! One of the few highlights for the New Orleans Saints. Yeah. Y'all remember when he was supposed to be touted as like the next big thing, and then never lived up to it. He is basically Javon Clowney, except he didn't have that one highlight that catapulted him into the first overall pick. But yeah, anyway, let's move on to a highlight, shall we? For the Philadelphia Eagles, Jahan Dotson with his best Randy Moss impersonation. Jalen Hurts drops back the pass, unleashes the deep ball. Oh, over the top of the defender for the 40-yard score. Belt to ass. Belt to ass. You love to see it. You love to see it. This is what you should have did to the Giants the first time you played them. You have to remind them who sucks and who's on top. Bravo, Jahan Dotson, for contributing to some belt to ass. Let's look at Drake May, shall we? This time, I swear, audience, this is an up-to-date Drake May highlight. That's not from last year. He drops back to pass here, and psych, it's not a highlight. Buddy. It's a low light, baby. Oh, buddy. He just did not see the defender. And he said in his post-game press conference, he's like, I forgot defenders can jump. Paraphrasing there. But you know what?
I felt that playing video games as well.
Now, we're going to go through a run here of some quarterback lowlights. So one last time, Squirtle, what are these quarterbacks thinking about? Tell me what Dak is thinking right here, because I would like to know. And then the defender, he makes a great run. The defender makes a great run. Dak had a terrible game. Was not able to do his usual
business decision, Dak.
Yeah. He's gonna have those multiple times a year. And you know what?
That almost looked like he thought Lamb was gonna sit there.
Maybe, right?
That looked like, that didn't look. I don't know. Otherwise, I can't imagine him actively. Yeah, I don't know.
Still should have thrown that ball. It looks like, yeah. I don't think anything good would have happened, even if like Lamb wasn't.
No, probably just did not. Probably just swatted down, but
yeah. Now, it was nice to see that Dak didn't do his usual garbage time stat padding that he is often to do. And you know what? There is no amount of garbage time to stat pad for this next quarterback. Cam Ward. Buddy.
Player of the year, rookie of the year.
Buddy, what are you thinking here? You are so late on that pass. No wonder the defender is able to get that from you. Tough. Now let's look at one more bad quarterback play. I'm going out of order here, but we're gonna keep in theme of just QB lowlights. This time, courtesy of Caleb.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, buddy. Just what is going through your head on that one?
How do you not return that for a touchdown? Come on.
Listen, these Ravens players aren't that good on defense. They don't know any better. Now, let's wash away some of this bad quarterback play with a guy who has not been throwing the deep ball very well this season. Bo Nix. drops back to pass here, and then puts this in the bread basket. What a beauty of a play. My goodness. There was nothing that Cowboys defender could have done. But I'm sure we can still contribute to whatever agenda Becky may or may not have regarding the Dallas DBs being not good. Now, you know what? All those quarterbacks had a shitty throw. We had Bo Nix with a dime. Now let's watch a running back throw a dime.
Hell yeah.
It's not really a dime. But Breece Hall with the halfback pass, a rare play nowadays, with the touchdown. I think this is made better by the fact that the receiver there just snatched that ball away from the defender, went over the
touch pass, yeah.
went over the top and just like, nope, you don't get this ball. Now I'm gonna finish the highlights and lowlights with the ultimate highlight, ultimate bias play right here. I've been waiting for this all season, Patrick.
Caleb.
First, Saquon Barkley with a 65-yard touchdown run on his first carry of the game. Look at this. Look at this. What beautiful, beautiful run in here. Big hole. No one touched him. Just takes it all the way to the house on a night or on a day that the Eagles ran for almost 300 yards on the ground. About time. I know it was the Giants, but that's what you do to bad teams. You beat the shit out of them, and you remind them that they suck. And with that, that concludes the high, the low, all of the lights on this clip show.
Here, I actually wanted to show you something.
Ooh, yes.
I showed Becky. This is what they call a rogue in Canadian football. This is a walk-off. Oh, maybe not because I deleted it. Did I delete it? Nope, here it is. Okay. So this is interesting here. So this team's kicking, and this guy, you kind of can't see him at first, but he catches this ball, and then he doesn't get out of the end zone with it, so the team that kicked got a point, and they won the game. Apparently that's a rule. At any point, you can kick the ball into the end zone, and then your team has to get it out of there, or else it's a point for the other team.
Is this is Canadian football?
Yeah. It's a cool rule. I really like it. At any point in the game, your team can kick it down there, and if they can't get it out of there, you get a point.
That's so wild and crazy. That should be something that's in the UFL as well.
I'd like to see them adopt that in the NFL. Let's make kicks fun.
I don't think that
there's like 12 useless guys on the field for every kick. Probably more than that, actually. We don't need all those guys out there, so let's make it mean something.
I guess so, but oh my god, I don't even know how you would institute that into the NFL.
Well, actually, I got one more. I thought you'll think this is funny, and this will be quick. Who was it? Sometimes I delete them after we watch them, though. Oh, here it is. So this is a 4th down play. Remember that. Wide receiver catches the ball. That's going to be a first. Oh, no, I'll go back. No, that's a first. No, I'll go back. Oh, no, that's no longer a first down. He went back over the line twice.
I forget that in college, that's a thing. Because in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken,
if you get forward progress, but if you yourself choose to go back, then you lose that progress.
Ah, that's right. Damn, what? That is... that kid is getting benched and is not seeing the field for a mighty long time. Anyway, with that, we have concluded the lights. Patrick, I think it's time now for the second part of this. We're going to go into some picks. It's the PTR Jesus, battle update. Oh, yeah. Well, everything stands pat. He remains 5 games ahead of me.
The whole week was a push.
Yeah. And then
never mind. He gained a game on us.
Yeah, he gained a game on us. So he continues to, at this point, there's just no shot that we catch up or surpass him. It would have to be a series.
we if we get one a week for the rest of the year, we'll tie him.
Yeah, the problem is we don't take into account the Bethke hate watch picks where he has
That
no
is-
belt.
That is potential. Let's see. Does that hurt? Has that hurt us?
That has hurt us, I feel like, at some point.
Yeah, he took the Giants over the Eagles, and he took the Steelers over the Packers. Yep, that's both of the Jesus this year. You know what? I will. I'll go back and run some numbers and see how much that's actually cost us this year.
Because please do. If we can get an update on that for next week, that'd be great. Whenever he's
I
here.
hadn't considered that once, but that's really funny. That's every week he's not taking one of those teams. So yeah.
Just out of pure spite, and not for us, for that team. And I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Jesus, if you win this, thank Bethke. Thank Bethke.
Yeah,
But
don't worry about any of the other ones.
Yeah, don't worry about all the other ones. The times where we've made bad picks.
the week where he took 4, both times. I actually done that twice.
Yeah. But yeah, we have that now. What about our individual picks? Let's look at that. Because I believe we tied the week. The week was a week.
Yeah, we should have all. I'm pretty sure we all tied, right?
Should have been.
Bethke was 1 game behind us, but so I brought myself back into a tie with Bethke for the overall.
There you go. And then you, Jesus, and I, we all went 8-5. Bethke 7-6. But yeah, let's go through these, shall we? You went with you went with your team. Don't blame me for doing that.
Didn't pay off this time.
Nope. Jets Bengals. Look at that. Here I'm thinking, oh, the Bengals should be competent against the worst team in the NFL. And they weren't. So that one's on me. Bethke with the surprising Cleveland Browns pick. There's not a lot to.
Don't know what his thinking was on that one.
I think he just went with the underdog. Just wants a good underdog, I'm assuming. I understood the Bethke Giant pick, and you did raise a valuable point that the Giants did have proof of concept that they could win the game. However, you didn't take into account that the Eagles would not want to be swept by
Yeah,
shitty
that was just dumb. That was just outright dumb.
team.
It's okay. I make up for it here.
Yeah, you did. And now listen.
It's funny though. I did it because I thought Lamar was playing, and then it turns out he didn't play.
At all. I was like, why is he picking the Ravens? Lamar's not even back yet. I know he doesn't like the Bears. I don't think it's a hate pick. And then the Bears do what the Bears do. They just disappoint when you think that they're not gonna. They do. And then Bethke picking the Houston Texans. That's when the hate pick actually came in handy for him there.
Yeah, 1 out of every 10.
I can't get a fucking feel for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm always picking. I feel like I haven't picked a single game of theirs correctly. I might be wrong. I might have picked a game or 2 correctly, but I just can't figure them out. And then you picked the Broncos, rightfully so. They did put belt to ass on that one. And then Green Bay.
Yeah, I didn't see that game. I was keeping up with the score a little bit, so it seemed like it was close for a while, but I don't really know what was the deal.
Yeah, I didn't really get to watch anything past the first half. And so all I know is I was like, all right, cool. Pittsburgh was up for a little bit. Green Bay came back, won decisively. I'll take that. And yeah, now let's go ahead. I'm going to talk about my picks for this week. Have you already done yours?
I've still got one I'm thinking about.
Okay, so for this week, to our audience members, we are all in unison that we believe the Baltimore Ravens should beat the Miami Dolphins. Will they? I don't know, because apparently Tua Tagovailoa starts getting pink eye and it automatically becomes Dan Marino. Funny how that works. Maybe he combats the CTE. I don't know. Chicago, Cincinnati. You with the surprising Chicago pick.
Yeah, I mean, if Flacco's playing hurt, I think the Bears will squeak this one out.
So I'm going to go ahead and change my pick to Chicago right on here. Yeah, I'm going to solidify that one.
I mean, they're the Bears still. They could easily lose it, but
they could easily lose it. But if it's Jake Browning versus Caleb Williams, I'm going to take Caleb Williams.
I'm gonna pull this back up. You were saying Cowboys. I wanted to see how your Cowboys picks were looking. are 2-3 when you pick for the Cowboys and 2-0 when you pick against.
All right, so I just need to keep picking against them. That's all I need to do. Oh man, I can't wait to see the end of the year of like who got like the percentages that we get for this year. Like, hey, you follow the trend on this team correctly or whatever.
Right? Yeah.
Anyway, let's go to Minnesota, Detroit. All in unison or all in agreement for Detroit there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that I don't think Minnesota could win the game. I just don't necessarily think they will.
Fair enough. Carolina, Green Bay. Bethy with the hater pick. It should not cost us this one.
I think he did that last week. He took Green Bay against Pittsburgh. Oh, no, he didn't. I think I screwed up the chart. Yep. That's okay. I got the numbers right. I just forgot to. I got his pick wrong on the chart.
Oh yeah, I'm the only one that got the Green Bay pick right there.
Yeah, and that's why. Yeah, that's why Caesar got or Jesus got the win on that.
There we go. All right. Well, yeah. So he's going against Carolina, or he's going with Carolina on that one. Both of us taking Green Bay. We're all in agreement that the Chargers should handle business against the Titans. New England Patriots should beat the Atlanta Falcons.
I didn't even know Kirk Cousins was playing again.
Yeah, and he was bad. And he wants to get traded to a team where he can be a starter, and then his tryout game, he absolutely shit the bed. So, yeah, Kirk, I think you're done. You're done, buddy. Yeah, it's just old age and injuries catching up to you. You are picking the New York Giants against the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, I think the 49ers, middle of the year, they're starting to feel these injuries. They're going to lose some weird ones.
So are the Giants, man. They lost like 3 guys this past weekend.
They're bad, but they're fine.
They're not fine. They're hurt. They're hurt everywhere. They're just as hurt as the Niners.
Jackson Dart's going to get it done. Watch it.
All right, we'll hold you to it.
I'll probably be wrong, but I don't know.
All right, we'll hold you to it.
Take swings here and there.
Pittsburgh versus Indy. I have Indy. Bethke with Pittsburgh.
This is a tough one.
I don't think it's that tough, actually. I think Indianapolis is a significantly better team than Pittsburgh. But that's just me. I was just looking at how they've been playing all year long. I'm like, yeah, I have more confidence in Daniel Jones this year than I do Aaron Rodgers. As crazy as a statement that may sound to some people. Denver Broncos against the Houston Texans. You and I in favor of Denver. Bethke picking Houston. He always gets one of these random games right. So this might be the game he gets right. Who knows? We're all in favor that Jacksonville should handle the Las Vegas Raiders. All in favor of the Rams taking care of business against the Saints. And then here's where we're split. You got Kansas City. Bethke got Kansas City, and I have Buffalo. So we'll see if Jesus also takes Kansas City, because if he does, then it's a push if they win. And if not, I gain ground on him. So either way, something to monitor. Now we got Washington versus...
I really do feel like that's a coin flip.
Yeah, no, Buffalo Kansas City should be a coin flip, absolutely. I'm just gonna go with like regular season trends where Buffalo wins in the regular season and Kansas City wins in the playoffs.
I feel like the Chiefs are on a slight uptick right now, getting slightly healthier and things starting to look good, but we'll see.
We'll see. Now we're in agreement that the Seattle Seahawks should beat the Marcus Mariota-led Washington Commanders. You would think, and I think they will. They look so bad
this week.
They look so bad this year. In some games, it just doesn't feel like they're trying that hard. And then here is where I'm going to test the Kyler Murray theory. All right. Here's the Kyler Murray theory for those of you who don't know. It's before the month of October ends, he's a solid quarterback.
Like, is this game? But this game will be in November.
This will be in November. But here's the thing. It's going to be in AT&T Stadium where he has famously never lost.
All right.
So we're going to test something. Is it the second half of the season where he starts to be like really shitty? Is that the Kyler Murray they were getting? or because he's playing in his home Metroplex, and he's never lost at AT&T, that we're going to see him pull this one out. I'm going to choose the Cardinals in this one against my better judgment because I just think that one would be the funnier bit. It's like he puts the COD down and locks in for one game and then reverts back to the normal Kyler Murray that we're used to.
I also think it's a funny bit for the Cowboys to win this game so that Jerry's like, oh, well, we're obviously Super Bowl champs now. And then they do, and then they just keep doing the roller coaster.
That too.
For entertainment purposes, this is the exact kind of game they win.
Now, he is 9-0 at AT&T Stadium.
Ridiculous.
So, 2-0 against the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas. So, something's got to give there, right? Something's got to give. I'm going to assume that he just remains picture perfect at AT&T. All right.
It could.
That's that for the picks. Let's go ahead and do some watch it, skip it, train wreck. What do you got for us this week, Patrick?
I was sitting on the couch Saturday night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight of the Bengals and the Bears, whom I dislike, and suddenly, to my surprise, watch Skip It or Train Wreck. 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 From his laboratory in his computer room to your phone or tablet where you scroll the doom. The games are picked for your eyesight to give you some Sunday delight. Watch Skip It or Train Wreck. Watch Skip It or Train Wreck. Watch Skip It or Train Wreck. Watch Skip It or Train Wreck.
There's just not very many good Halloween songs.
I mean,
There's
there's
like
really only
two.
two.
Yeah.
You either do that one or you do Thriller, and that's it.
I mean, like Ghostbusters, kind of, but there's only like 2 lines in the whole song.
Who you gonna call?
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Who you gonna watch? Skip It or Train Wreck?
I can't do Somebody's Watching Me because I can't actually sing like Michael Jackson at all. It's just not going to happen. I thought about maybe some Nightmare Before Christmas songs, but I'm not pulling that off either. So we went Monster Mash.
You can pull it off as long as you don't think too hard about it.
That's fair.
Now, that said, we have a couple of games on the docket for the Watch It, the Skip It, the Train Wreck, baby. I got 2 games apiece for each category. On the watch games of the week, you could probably already tell, it's Bills Chiefs. These guys regularly deliver classic games, either in the regular season or the playoffs, right? These games are incredibly important for conference standings. And you have 2 guys who are regularly in the MVP hunt going up against one another at the primes of their career. So plenty of reasons to watch Bills Chiefs. Another game that we have here. There's not a lot of games this week where you have teams with winning records going up against each other. It is a lot of winner versus loser type things, or both teams suck type deals. So there wasn't a lot of great selections here, but I think this one should be a solid game for your viewing pleasure. It's Colts Steelers.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the only other one that I would.
This should be a competitive matchup. You have the upstart Colts. You have a veteran-laden team with the Steelers, right? You know that one has a higher ceiling than the other. I want to say the Colts actually have a higher ceiling than the Steelers here, both because of their youth and because their head coach just seems to want to keep pushing things forward with the team. Whereas I feel with like Mike Tomlin, it's like he's just kind of stuck in time. It feels like Yeah, either one. I don't think you can go wrong with either game. I think one game might be better than the other. Did you have anything else that you wanted to add to the must-watch games, or you think that's
No, I
much
think that pretty much covers it. I would definitely, I mean, and in the order you put them in is exactly right. Colts Steelers could be a better game, but it's more likely that the Chiefs Bills is.
Absolutely. All right, now on the must-skip rather, the most must-skip games, the unwatchables, if you will. I got another two teams. This one I think might be a blowout, and the other one is just going to be bad football. And also probably a blowout, but still kind of bad football. You're going to have the Chargers versus the Titans. This feels like a just utter mismatch, right? It's not like the Chargers are some juggernaut team, but the Titans are just so damn bad.
You say that, but if the Chargers wear those nasty yellow uniforms again, I might have to change my pick.
I think that they could overcome those ugly uniforms just because it's the Titans. Just because I think the Titans are that bad. And then you have the Jags versus the Raiders. Jags should take care of business. All right, the Raiders have nothing to hang their hat on. Geno Smith has really regressed this year, and I know a lot of that has to do with the fact he only has one person to throw the football to, and he has a bad offensive line. There's only so much that he can do, and also his offensive coordinator is Chip Kelly, and he sucks. So yeah, fuck you, Chip Kelly. And yeah, really, a lot of the games on this week's docket are not that enticing, but I think these are two of the most egregious matchups. Now, to the train wreck, right? This category that really is hard to pin down what it really means to be a train wreck game because there's so many different factors. However,
it's the hardest one to predict.
Yes, it's hard to know.
Sometimes they come out of nowhere.
Yeah, they come out of nowhere, and they exist. Like every week, there is a game that absolutely is a train wreck of a watch. You just can't really picture who it's going to be. You can only hope that the two matchups and the circumstances surrounding the games create this cocktail of just train wreck football. And so one of the most, I guess, reliable indicators is Thursday Night Football, and the Thursday night matchup happens to have two losing teams. So you have two teams with losing records who have been really bad going up against each other. They both have they both have comeback wins, or not comeback wins, but rather they have these bounce back wins that they probably shouldn't have had, and now they go up against each other for. I wouldn't even call it supremacy of any kind. It's to not suck more than the other team. So Ravens, Dolphins, anything can happen on Thursday Night Football. Anything can happen, especially when it's two absolute dumpster fires of teams going up against each other. And that's what we're getting on Thursday night. And then this one, Niners, Giants. Why, pray tell, do you think I'm going to put this as a train wreck? Well, here's the reason. Both teams have their IR list is insane. Okay. They are just stacking bodies on the IR, and they are reaching into the depths of their practice squad just to fill out the roster. And you're seeing that on the one side, when you have a semi-competent coach with a good offensive mind and a slightly, serviceable quarterback, you're going to produce a winning record, apparently. Kyle Shanahan working miracles with the San Francisco 49ers. And then on the other side, when you have a just absolute angry baboon with a tire gut at your head coaching spot, which is Brian Dabble, and you have a guy who looks like he belongs in the league. It might be an above average starter at some point in his career in Jackson Dart, assuming everything goes well with roster construction, which you can never assume with the New York Giants. What do you get? You get a losing record. You get a losing record because, hey, that roster is still pretty much the same from last year. Top-heavy talent on the defensive line that's underperforming in the run defense. Pretty good in the pass rush. And then they can offer you nothing else on defense. And then you look on offense and you're like, Jackson Dart is out of here making plays, throwing his body around like crazy to make up for the fact that, again, he has an overweight, angry baboon as a head coach in Brian Dabble. So, that said, this is going to be a train wreck watch. I don't remember what stadium this is taking place in. Oh, it's at MetLife.
And that's also part of why I took New York. So I was like, I'm not sure. Both these teams are beat up.
Yeah, and the field that just snatches everyone's souls. No, let's consider that one the ultimate train wreck.
You can forget when we had the black cat on the field on Halloween.
Is that when the start of the MetLife curse happened? Because I feel like it's when it started.
No, the curse was a long time before the cat on the field. The cat on the field was like 5 years ago.
How old is that stadium?
MetLife?
Is it MetLife? Yeah, MetLife. I call it MetLife because it's the Meadowlands at MetLife.
2010.
Okay, well then, yeah, definitely before then.
I thought it was much older than that.
I thought it was much newer than that, actually. But yeah, so those are your must-watch, must-skips, and your train wreck games of the week.
I'd like to nominate Cowboys Cardinals for potential train wreck. That could get wild too, because Kyler Murray's always good for some wild, and so are the Cowboys.
I approve. I will approve this addendum.
Honorary mention, potential train wreck.
They are an honorary mention of the potential train wrecks. Cowboys and Cards. Now, with that, we're going to end things with the game of the week, and I guess it's fair to say that based on the common sense, Bills Chiefs should be the game of the week, right? So, with that, we're just going to talk some storyline implications here regarding the game, and it's first and foremost, I think it's going to be a lot of MVP talk. We talked about it earlier. Patrick Mahomes is in the driver's seat going to Vegas. And Josh Allen's right behind him. And these guys are always battling for the top spot in the AFC, it feels like, for like the past 5 years. And you look at this and you're like, all right, well, what are the standings say? Because Buffalo's on top of their division, barely. If not, they might be in second place. They're in second place, right? They're in second place in their division. And then you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, they're in third. So this is not their usual matchups of the Titans just jockeying for position. Now you're trying to climb up out of your own division, and then on top of that, trying to secure your spot with home field advantage in the playoffs. Right now you have the Buffalo Bills as they're the 5th seed. You have the Kansas City Chiefs. They are barely in the playoffs right now as the 7th seed. Which, again, wild to me that Patrick Mahomes is the leading candidate for MVP when he is leading a 7th seed team. Okay, I get it. Still half a season left to go. Anything can happen. Things could change. They could, go on a run here. Still, though, boggles my mind. And so, yeah, the Chiefs absolutely need this, right, to just solidify themselves. I believe if the Buffalo Bills lose, though, this might be a swapping of the places, right? Because you have the head-to-head tiebreaker. If you're the Bills, you would fall to 5-3. If you're the Chiefs, you go up to 6-3 just because of the bye weeks not being the same. And I would believe that the Los Angeles Chargers kind of stay pat if they win, which they should win. And so whichever team loses this game finds himself at least at the end of Sunday out, possibly if you're the Chiefs, out of the playoff picture briefly. And the Bills, you're just in a better spot to try to make up ground and overcome the New England Patriots. So a lot to look for there. And whatever happens at the end of this game, Patrick, I almost want to guarantee that whatever happens between Buffalo and Kansas City, that the losing team tries to make a big move right before the deadline. I think it's going to be a measuring stick game for both teams in that regard. Like, what do we need?
Yeah, maybe if someone gets blown out, I think if it's close, they might be like, we're right there. But yeah, I could definitely see someone making a overreaction to one game against one team kind of thing.
And a part of me wants to believe the Bills just feel like they reek of desperation. I know that they may not look like that, and so some people may not feel that way, but when you consider this window that they have, it is shrinking.
And I mean, all they have to do is look over at Cincinnati, and it's like they were there and gone.
They were there and gone, and the Buffalo Bills haven't even been there yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. So we'll see. I'm picking the Bills in this game. I think they want it more. The Chiefs, listen, I don't know how real Denver is. I don't know how consistent the Chargers can be. They can sneak their way into the playoffs. I think the Bills absolutely need this. And they also absolutely need home field advantage. I don't think this is a team that wants to be road warriors. So, that said, we're going to go ahead and end things right there. Unless, Patrick, you had something else that you wanted to add football-wise that we didn't get to.
No, I don't think so. No. It's going to be kind of a boring week, but there's still some good stuff in there.
Yep, my team's on a bye, so I'll have a chance to watch more of these teams that I haven't seen before, or I'll just go see the Chainsaw Man movie again.
I should probably go see that. I need to get some time in watching JJ McCarthy and hope he doesn't die.
Now, let me tell you, Chainsaw Man, for people who don't watch anime, this is more than just an anime film. This is just a really well-done film. Great direction.
Is it more of a self-contained movie than like the Demon Slayer one was?
Yes and no. Okay, so to kind of let you know and to our audience know.
I mean, I assume all you need to know is something about the show, but I don't know if
you need to know something.
Continuation from like the last episode that aired.
It does continue on from the previous episode. However, the way that the movie is directed and the way the arc goes, it really is a self-contained arc. Like, yes, it is canonical to everything that happens around it, but the fallout of the events of this arc are more to haunt the overarching narrative and less to be directly impactful post this arc, right? So what I mean by that is just say, for example, you have a movie, you have an anime movie where a character dies, and a very important character dies, and everybody's aware of it, and it absolutely just changes the direction of the story. That is something that, and that comes out as a film. You want to see everything that leads up to that, ideally, right? So you get an idea. This one, it's more or less like, yes, important things happen to certain characters. However, the impact is going to be less focal going forward and more kind of just like, in the background. Like you kind of have to put the pieces together in your head. Like, oh, hey, the fallout, like the fallout from this can be traced back to this movie here. So in a way, it is semi self-contained. You don't absolutely need to have seen season 1. It is ideal to see season 1, so you get an idea of why the main character is the way that he is, or rather that you familiarize yourself with the main character being like, oh, okay, I see why he's this way, and it explains his, motivations in this movie. However, if you just want to watch a well-directed film, great cinematography. I know it's animation, but animation has that as well.
The main reason I'd want to go is because I know it's going to look sick as hell on the big screen.
Yup, and the sound is crazy. The sound design is crazy. Yeah. If you can see it in IMAX, do it, or 4XD. Maybe not 4XD. I feel like 4XD is way too much simulation overload. But regardless, worth your time to watch. And yeah, that's enough movie talk for that. Go Mean Green. And the Eagles can't piss me off this Sunday, so good call.
Yeah, should be a great weekend. I'll be there yelling extra loud for you.
Appreciate that one. Happy Halloween, everybody. Y'all stay safe.
Yeah. Stuff. Halloween. I didn't even wear a costume this year. Oops. Anyways.
I will be a Demon Slayer again.
Nice. All right, man. Well, I'll talk to you next week.
Talk to you later, man.
Bye.